Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's having a fantastic day today. Just need to shuffle to get ready for the cards of the day and give everyone a chance to filter in a little bit. For those of you who have never been witness to a cards of the day before, basically the cards of the day is a group reading that consists of multiple parts. I guess is the easiest way to say it. It consists of multiple parts. The cards of the day focus on love, money, well-being, headline news, spirit messages, and energy cards from my oracle deck. Why are they misbehaving? Sorry about that. Anyway, energy cards from my deck, and then I do have a couple of things for sort of a show and tell at the very end, because I got clocked by a few people that said that I never show anything magical that I ever do. Like, what kind of craft do I do? So I have a few examples of some of my more successful pieces. But the cards of the day, basically, if you have a question, focus on that question. You can drop it in the comments. I might not actually see it. I do have the comments open. So, I mean, feel free to comment a question, but I'm not probably going to have time to get to it. I do have paid readings I have to get to after this. So, focus on your question and just sort of try to send it to me, and I will hopefully be able to channel that energy into your answer through the cards that are related to that specific part of the readings. And thank you for tapping the screen. That gets me more viewers, which gets more followers, which helps the entire process. So I appreciate that as much as you can. Good morning. All right. The first cards are for love is always. Love is always first. And we have the Page of Coins. Someone is going to approach you and basically show interest. You're going to be contacted by someone. This is going to be unsolicited, but someone's going to approach you and show interest. This is a group reading for everybody, by the way. It is collective. And we have the Knight of Cups. So guard your emotions, protect what is precious to you, protect your emotions most of all. And I have a feeling like this little bombardment of people showing interest in you is going to be a bombardment. It's not going to be just one or two. This is going to be quite a few people showing interest all at once. And you and I, we all know some people do not respond well if you don't show them the appropriate counter interest. So protect your emotions. Don't let anybody get nasty with you just because you say you're not interested. I'm pretty sure that's what the cards are warning about. So just be cautious there. Apparently, the romantic energy is at a high. The next cards are for money. Now, this could be anything from investments to jobs, work opportunity, anything to do with finances. Ooh, I see fire here. The Star. Definitely a warmer energy. The Star represents faith, hope. It represents your belief in higher powers. It represents your belief that you're on the right path and that you're being guided. It also represents the fact that even in the darkest moments, we can always find something to look to. That light at the end of the tunnel, hope. We don't always necessarily know what we're hoping for, but we basically just hope. And in finances, that usually means that you are unfortunately going through some tough times. But usually when the Star card shows up, it's usually when it's well over halfway over. It's at your weaker point, just before things start to get better. Do not give in and do not lose faith. And that is crossed with the Strength card. You are strong enough. You have everything that you need at your disposal to be able to tackle whatever financial situation you are in. There are solutions. There are ways that you can handle this. And the Star card is there to let you know that if you should need more strength, you can pray and ask for it. There is no shame in that. But know that you are strong enough on your own. That in itself should give you a world of hope. Excuse me. Now, the well-being cards. The well-being cards are focused on emotional strength, emotional health, physical health. On occasion, it's physical health. But it's usually some sort of an emotional milestone that you need to get over. You need to get through. Something you have to do to try to get yourself over whatever it is that's been holding you back. So the emotional well-being card is the Moon. You're confused. Things aren't exactly clear. For some reason, something is obscuring your sight and you're not seeing things clearly. You're seeing things as though you would in a daydream or an actual dream. The landscape around you has become sort of an illusionary terrain that you're not quite sure where your steady footing is. So use caution. Try to get as much information as you can. That's the only thing that really dispels the Moon card. Like real information. And give it some time. The Moon card is very temporary. It only represents the night. Night does not last forever. The sun will come up. It will make things brighter. You will see what's going on. And it is crossed with the Ten of Wands. So, the Ten of Wands, and it's funny that this came up in the well-being cards because this came up, I think, as part of the headline cards last week, or a couple days ago. It might have been this week. I apologize. I know it was recently. The Ten of Wands is the burden of success. I'll show it to you again. He has the prize at his feet. His ship lies in ruin after the journey. He has all the energy and all the power from the entire trip built up around him. He is basically sitting there wondering, what am I going to do with all of this now? I have so much responsibility. I have so many things to do. I have so many people counting on me. The burden of success is not losing. It's winning, getting more than you expected, but also having a lot of responsibility along with that success. And the Moon is saying that right now things are not clear. The reason why is because it is new. The Ten of Wands, the only way to dispel it is to delegate out some of that responsibility. You're in a position of authority. You won that right. Now you have to build your base so that you can delegate out some of the authority and some of the workload and spread things out so that it's not all resting on you. Remember, you are not the only person in this world. It's that simple. There are other people that could be doing some of the things that you're doing. And if you're making enough money or if the situation calls for it, bring in some help. It's the only way to get rid of the Ten of Wands energy. And that will also help you learn the position that you are in now and dispel some of the Moon energy as well. I don't specifically do animal readings, but I am very good at reading energies in general. I've read people's pets before, and I can use the tarot cards to give a general idea as to what it is that they're thinking, but I don't do specific pet readings. That's actually a completely separate psychic ability. And it's sort of like a connection, like I can read people. I can hear spirits. I have seen and felt animal spirits and ghosts as well. I'm a spirit medium. It's what I do. The thing is, though, when it comes to living pets, there are certain people that are much more in tune with specifically communicating to animals. So I would look for one of them. They are very shamanistic. Usually they have a very strong sense, a strong connection to animals. I would definitely look for somebody that is more specifically a specialist in that area. Sorry, I need more coffee. Okay, moving on to the spirit message. And as I said, this is a collective group reading. I appreciate all of you for being here this morning. Thank you so very much. We have covered love, money, and well-being. I'm going to do the spirit message next. The spirit message is omens, signs, angelic messages. Anything from... more coffee, exactly. Anything that would answer a question that you have from the other side specifically. Is there someone on the other side that you're looking to communicate with? Do you need something to come through to confirm that they are there watching over you and talking to you? That's what this part is. So let's see what the spirits have to say today. What is the spirit message? Oh, wow. I have two opposing energies here. I have a hot and I have a very cold. Somebody pick hot or cold. Someone comment hot or cold. Whatever I see first is what I'm going for. Come on. I'm assuming you meant to say hot instead of hit, so I'm just going to go with the hot one there. Okay, King of Coins. King of Coins is basically saying that, okay, the King of Coins represents a male energy or a masculine energy. Not always necessarily a male per se, but someone that has a very strong masculine energy. That can be a physical woman as well. My cards are very non-binary when it comes to descriptions. Now, he has a natural ability to draw in money. He enjoys the physical pleasures of the physical world. Very grounded, very logical. But that does not mean that he has no emotions. It just means that when he chooses to show them, they are intense and they are precious. He is not someone that easily forgives because he writes everything in stone. So if you wrong this person, it's going to take an act of God to convince them that this was an accident or just a mishap. Now, I'm going to draw the crossing card to see what context the King of Coins is walking into. And the negative side of the King of Coins is they can be a little greedy, stubborn as all get out. Think of the King of Coins as sort of a Taurus with a little bit more ambition. This is like an electrical energy. Okay. Page of Wands. So we are talking about a specific individual that messages are coming to. The Page of Wands represents, and I will show you the card again so that you can truly get an idea of the imagery. I like to show the imagery of my cards so that you understand. The Wands are fire cards. They activate quickly. Fire is an instantaneous transformation. It activates within days to a week, maybe two. The sun rising means that this is something new, something that has not happened before in your life. And the fact that this person is moving or searching for something with his torch. Pages are all messengers. You will receive messages and news of new beginnings and new and exciting things. This is going to be something that excites your passion because of the fire energy. And it is going specifically towards that King of Coins. I do not feel like the king is the one spreading the news. I feel like the king is the one getting the news. It could be interpreted both ways, though. But I feel like the King of Coins is getting the news. So for all of my earth signs out there, for all of my stable, rock hard people, there will be messages of new beginnings. Messages of new things happening that will excite you. And conversely, you may get messages from someone who is very earth-based about new things. Like I said, this could be interpreted in both ways. The King of Coins could be sending or receiving messages. Excuse me. Okay. That's a very weird, subjective. I don't like it when I can't pinpoint who is getting what. But I'm loving what I'm seeing on the screen, the tapping. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That gets my videos and my lives out there. Now, the next part is the headline cards, and then what I'm going to do is really fast recap the other portions that you may have missed before I move into the energy cards of the day, because I have quite a few of you on here right now. The headline cards are crossroad events, things that will ripple throughout everybody's day in some way. So basically what you have is an event so large no one will miss it, and if they do miss it, it still affects them in some way or another. They just don't necessarily realize it because of how many people it affects. Think butterfly effect or ripple effect event. So I'm sensing a big wave of energy with this one. Two of Wands. Two of Wands is actually a really awesome headline card because it's a good sign. People are uniting against a common enemy or a common foe. And this is the good free people uniting against a dark force that is trying to make them trying to dominate everything, basically. This force is trying to dominate everything, and in this particular card, and I will show it to you again, this is my Lord of the Rings deck. I love the Lord of the Rings deck because I know the story so well. That's why I know a lot of specific insights to the meanings of the cards, is because I know the story. So if you're ever picking out your tarot cards, pick one you know the story for. Like, I am also a Greek mythology lunatic, and my mythic deck is all about Greek mythology. So always pick cards that resonate with you. But the Two of Wands, fire cards. So they activate quickly, but you see the dark forces and then the forces of light. They're basically squaring off, drawing lines in the sand saying, no more, no further, we're done. Which means you may see protests, you may see groups of people uniting and coming together for common goals and common goods. This may happen all over the world. And I'm going to draw the crossing card to get a little bit more context on this, because I always draw my two. And the reason I like to use two decks is because if any card should want to cross the same card, that would be a very specific message. And it doesn't happen as often as you may think it would. But when it does, I like to draw attention to it. Justice. People want justice. The people are uniting against the common enemy that has caused some form of injustice that was so severe that it's literally going to trigger some sort of a wave of justice. Now, justice can represent two things. I like to call her my karma card, but it's accurate, but it's inaccurate. In this instance, though, she doesn't just represent universal law such as karma. She represents man's law, which would be the justice system, the justice department, things like that. So these are going to be high-level profile cases that people are going to demand happen, and happen soon. My private readings are $20. You can book them through Readings by Jesse on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook. I have my Facebook page is where I get most of my bookings through. And on here you can direct message me as well. They're $20. It's 3 questions or half an hour, whichever comes first. But right now it's just the collective reading. Now, just a quick recap for those of you that may have missed the first part. The love reading is basically saying that you're going to be approached by someone that's going to show interest in you. Protect your emotions, because not everyone is going to take the rejection very well. And I have a feeling it's going to be multiple people. So protect your emotions as people show interest in you. And this is going to be romantic interest. I'm feeling like there's going to be a wave of romantic interest in a lot of people. Now we have the money cards. The money cards are a little bit more, I don't know, ethereal than they normally are. It just doesn't feel real world. It feels more like this is an emotional preparation for something. But the star card has crossed the strength card. You need your faith right now to help you through some hard times and to get you through to the end. The star card is there to help guide you so that you do not lose your strength. And it will be reinforced by your strength, and your strength will reinforce it. So basically what you have is you are strong enough to get through whatever it is you're going through right now. You just need to have a little bit of faith that you can get through this last part. Okay, and we have the well-being cards. This is emotional health, basically. The Moon card is saying that things are confusing. The Ten of Wands is telling me that you are being buried by the burden of success. So what we have here is that you got what you wanted, and now you have to deal with the responsibility of getting what you wanted. It would be like going to apply for a CEO position at some big company and actually getting it, and then all of a sudden realizing, shit, I got it. Now what? The Moon card is throwing its confusion around. There's two ways to dispel it. Give it some time, but if this is a work situation, you may not have time. So learn as much information as you can, specific facts and real things, okay? And it will help dispel that moon energy, because the moon only works when there is a lack of vision or information is what you're looking at. It just creates illusion. So learn some information, give it a little bit of time, and to dispel the heavy burden, distribute some of the responsibility. Delegate. Hire someone to do it if you can. There may be little side jobs and things that aren't necessarily that important for you to be doing directly that you can hire someone else or have someone else do. So delegate out some of that responsibility that's burying you alive. The spirit message. The King of Coins is crossed with the Page of Wands. Now, I had a little confusion over this, and I still sort of do. The King of Coins is a very earthbound person. He focuses on money and physical comforts in the physical world. The Page of Wands is saying that there are going to be important messages of something new and passionate being created, something new and fiery in your life. Now here's the thing that I'm confused on. Is the King of Coins sending these messages out, notifying you that there are new opportunities, or are you, the King of Coins, receiving said message? A little subjective. It could work either way. In either case, though, there's going to be a lot of earth energy and fire energy moving around in the money sector, specifically regarding around masculine energy. Now, like I said before, masculine does not necessarily mean an actual male. My cards are very non-judgmental in that respect. All I'm saying is that the present is masculine in its appearance to the cards. Now, the final cards are the headline cards. The headline cards are the Two of Wands and the Justice card. People are uniting against the common enemy because they want justice. They're tired of seeing the injustice continue. They're going to be demanding that something be done legally, and that's going to be that. They're not taking it anymore. They're done with the games. So there's going to be a massive call for justice. Now, I am going to get these out of the way and move over to my Oracle deck. And then I will get the energy of the day and the blessings of the day. And as I stated earlier, I'm not doing specific individual questions at this time. I have paid readings I have to get to after this that are scheduled. But I will do my best if I have time to come back and do some lives. I'm hoping that I'll have time to do it this week. I've been a little busy. Everyone wants to know how the holidays are going to turn out. Now, the energy of the day, I have runes, I have angels, I have zodiacs, I have planetary energies, I have chakras, I have a little bit of everything in this deck that I made. Elements, all of it. Like anything that you could possibly think of that would be a mystical force, specifically. That was adorable, I just saw the heart thing. Anyway, basically, what's the most prevalent energy out there right now? What is the biggest force driving most of the activity? And how can you utilize it? What specific spell workings could you do, or manifestation exercises, or prayers can you possibly manifest the easiest today? That's what these cards talk about. And the first one is, I haven't had a chakra come up in a while, but this is the third eye. The third eye chakra basically is your intuition, your psychic ability. It is your second sight. It is the forehead of the brain, the center of the divine. When it is in balance, it is a highly intuitive person, strong psychic ability, focused, wise, and insightful. When it is out of balance, they are emotional, judgmental, unfocused. They have nightmares typically, poor memory, and migraines or headaches. The best way to put it back into balance is spend time in the sunlight, go stargazing, and practice visualization. And when I say practice visualization, what I'm meaning is positive affirmations or visualizations or meditations about cleansing the aura or the spirit or the soul so you can cleanse the mind. I personally recommend stargazing or spending time in the sun with your eyes closed and just absorb that energy. So, whatever is going to be happening today, it is going to be on a personal, person-to-person basis directly tied to your psychic ability. Ooh, and we have Pluto, god of death and rebirth. Auspicious time of year to be drawing this card, considering he hardly ever shows himself. He is transformation personified. Power, death, rebirth, evolution. Pluto is the god of death. Now, the reason he is death and rebirth is because you have to have constructive and destructive forces in the universe, the yin and yang, the balance. Any god of death is technically a god of life as well because one sustains the other. You cannot have one without the other. So even if it appears as though death is roaming around, it's because there has to be some form of balance. Something is out of balance, therefore something has to be taken away in order to replace what is... In order to maintain the balance, certain things have to be put into and taken away from. And Pluto's connection to the other side, combined with the intuition of the third eye, is telling me that there's going to be a lot of spirit omens, spirit communication. And I want to remind everybody as well, is until November 4th or 5th, the veil really isn't going to start thickening again. Because most of your Celtic holidays actually celebrate it more in the beginning of November, not the actual first day of November or October 31st. The dates have moved over the centuries. It is this entire time of year that gives us our connection to our ancestors. That's why Halloween is so important. It is remembering the ethereal and remembering the ones that have passed. Wow, okay. 333. Remember I said my cards have a little bit of everything. 333 is support. Your spirit guides are around you, sending you love, support, and guidance. Kind of funny that I just mentioned the whole ancestor thing. I promise I didn't cheat and look at the card. Basically, this screams Halloween, and your ancestors trying to protect you and watch over you. The support and guidance of 333 combined with Pluto and the third eye, though, is telling me you're going to have a very high probability of having a supernatural experience in the coming days. Is the best way that I can put it to you, but it's going to be, you're going to be protected, you're going to be safe, so don't panic. If something supernatural does occur to you over this time of year, don't panic. It is there to show you something. It's there to teach you something. Just remember that. And I'm going to shuffle a little bit more because next is the blessings of the day. Blessings of the day. And this is a collective reading or a group reading. I'm not doing specific questions at this time. If I do come up, I usually have the live labeled as like free readings or something like that. I know you might not see the thing on here though, but I appreciate the love though. Thank you. And the blessing today. What is the blessing? The blessing is if you pray for help or assistance right now, today, what is the most likely way that the spirits are going to answer you? What is the most likely force that they will utilize? And the answer is... Oh, excuse me. Oh, wow. Okay. We have... I'm not exactly sure... No, actually, I know exactly what this means. I apologize. I do know. The world. I made this card specifically to represent the world and all in it. Because there is And I have sort of like a moon phase energy flow kind of thing on there. I'm not the greatest artist, I will grant you. Now, there are cards that represent your individual life and everyone in your circle. But in the tarot deck, there's the world card that can represent the entire world, and then there's the world card that can represent your circle. In the deck I made, this represents the entirety of the universe, everything. It's the cosmic balance. So today's blessing is this. If you ask for something, or if you pray for something, or if you pray for assistance, there's two things I want to say. One, you could be answered by any force in creation right now. The veil is thin. Beware what you wish for. This is probably going to be one of the easiest times to manifest. So be cautious. Like I said, beware what you wish for. The other thing that this represents, because I said it was two things. This is a reminder that we are all intrinsically connected. The universe and everything in it is about balance. You are connected to everyone else and everything else. By energy, by the atomic structure within our bodies, and by the energy that makes up that energy. You go down low enough, we're all just vibrations at different frequencies. That's the message of the blessings today, is you won't just be helped by any force, but you will be helped by all forces, by all people. And by so doing, it will bring everyone together. Now, as I promised earlier, at the very beginning, I said there would be a little show and tell. I got clocked because I post all these things on mysticism and magic, and I never show what type of magic it is that I do. So, I brought a couple things for show and tell. Now, this is something that I made a while back. This was, years ago. It's a simple picture frame. And I put a picture of me and my husband in it. Now, as you can see, through the spell work that I have written on the sides, that this is something that took a little bit of time. I meditated and I focused energy on every single letter and bind rune in that picture frame. Its basic rough idea is to draw in love, happiness, and prosperity, and a complete circle of protection by all forces. Basically a general protection, and it is focused primarily on whoever is in the picture frame. And I usually light candles and place it in front of it. My type of magic is more manifestation and energy direction based. I work with symbolism and spirits. I can easily talk to them, so it's easy to reach out to them. Higher frequency beings obviously being harder to pull down than lower frequency beings. But at any rate, that is one of the things that I've done, is the picture frame. And it literally has caused instantaneous change whenever I put a candle in front of it. I designed it to be able to be charged easily with a candle and with direct intent to reactivate the picture frame. I also on occasion put it out on a very bright day or on a full moon just to keep the energies going. But with symbolism magic like that, you don't have to keep casting the same spells over and over and over again. You only need to activate them once. Then it's a simple matter of recharging them because you've already given it the intent. So just give it a brief moment of recharged intent, then light a candle to really recharge those batteries for it, and sort of create the intent of the candle to recharge the energy of the picture frame. Something else that I've made. This is a seal or a sigil for prosperity, and it's a little dusty. I have cats. But essentially, that actually shows up really well in this light. This is the Jupiter seal. I have pyrite at the tips. Some of you may have seen this, some of you may have not. I put it in gold to represent wisdom and wealth. Gold actually represents wisdom as well as money. And the sun and the moon with the bowl or cup to catch it is essentially acting like little lightning rods here. Pyrite draws in good fortune. Since I'm drawing in good fortune and the energy of Jupiter is above, it drops down into the bowl and collects both day and night. The circle, or the unbroken chain, essentially represents the building of the energy within that small area and not releasing it until it is collected. And that's sort of one of the other pieces I do. I have stones that I've carved this way. I have other wood pieces I've carved this way. But for the most part, that's what I do. I do have to get going, though. Have a fantastic day, everybody, and I hope to see you all again tomorrow.